boggles my goggles how weird of a fucking movie The Cat in the Hat
It
is.
really is.
It just threw off my train of thought. Like, that movie is so weird.
Talk to the hand.
What's in the box?
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. But
Let's move on to our personal top 5 Christmas movies. Now, there's a lot of great Christmas movies out there. And I think that generally, like, if you look at, like, Rotten Tomatoes Christmas movies, they're always bad. Like, rarely are they rated very well.
Yeah.
But, so that's why, I don't know, that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because, you know, you can Google, like, good Christmas movies, and the results you'll get are wildly different.
And I did, by the way.
Did you?
To help
I
me
always
come up
get
with
something,
this.
like, I never get the same list, except for, like, a couple.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we've got 2 of them that we both had on our list, right?
We ended up coming up with separate lists, but these 2 movies just were so good that they made both.
Yes. So we'll start with those ones. The first one being Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think it's a 95, 96 release. I'm not 100% sure.
I got it right here in front of me. It's 96.
96? Okay. I knew it was like, just judging on like the haircuts and like the like clothes being worn, I knew it was about that time.
Sinbad's in it, so yeah. No,
Oh yeah, Sinbad. Yeah, yep.
So putting it, Phil Hartman's still alive.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a good guess.
But I think what I love about this movie so much is like how I've enjoyed it differently when I was younger and now. Because I feel like when I was younger, like I thought, what is the Turbo Man? Right? That's the
Jamie,
doll.
I'm Turbo Man. Yeah, no, Turbo Man.
Yes. So like when I was younger and watched this movie, like Turbo Man was like the cool part. You know what I mean? Like when he puts on the suit, I'm like,
Right.
oh my god, he's Turbo. And like now I'm older. First of all, I think that kid's an ungrateful little prick.
Oh, yeah.
But also I'm just like, I don't know, like the whole like his whole trip in the mall and everything, and even like Sinbad, I can appreciate his character more.
Dude, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Whenever you're younger, you're more like, I want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be my dad, or I want to be him.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you're like, no, I'm Sinbad, and I completely relate to Sinbad in every way. I totally get that.
But yeah, I just love this movie. I wish that Arnold Schwarzenegger had done more comedies.
I agree. He's pretty funny, like just being, I don't know, himself in this. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, Turbo Man. But just yeah, fuck that kid though, Jake Lloyd in general. Not only the kid in the movie, but like the actor for being that piece of shit that he was in the Phantom Menace. But
Oh, I totally forgot.
yes. But yeah, no, Jingle All the Way is. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it, because it's. I don't know if I want to call this a classic, because I hate calling any movie a classic. Like,
Yeah.
but it's just.
I think
really
it's
funny.
fair. Like, this is one I watch every year.
No, totally the same.
You know, I don't know if it's considered a classic, but I watch it every year.
It's really funny, the part where he goes to the elf shop and shit, and
Yeah.
they kick he kicks their ass. I mean, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting a bunch of midgets. Like, you can't beat that. All right.
The next one that we had on our list together was Bad Santa, which came out in 2003, starring Billy Bob Thornton. We talked about it a lot in the last. Well, yeah, we kind of talked about
Yeah,
it.
we
guess,
did.
in the last one.
I was thinking we could just hit on this lately if you want, because we did talk about it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just whatever. It's very raunchy. It's very different. I guess you could call it an anti-Christmas movie.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree.
But not full and full. It's very very quotable. Like a movie that I still, whatever. Like that kid, that fucking kid. There's so many quotes. But
yeah, no, that's great. As you said,
Another one,
pretty
gotta
much
watch it every
anti-Christmas.
year.
Yep, same.
All right. So what did you had some other ones? What was one of them you had on your list?
All right, so this is where we diverge, and this isn't. Okay, so I won't call this an anti-Christmas movie. I just say that it's a stretch. It's like when people say Die Hard's a favorite Christmas movie. And again, I was struggling to come up with some of my favorite ones. Like, I left off, It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. Like, I don't really have any of the classics on my list per se. And I'll just get right to it. Gremlins is on my list. And again,
Gremlins.
people don't think of Gremlins as a Christmas movie, but the Gizmo was a Christmas present to the kid. It's officially a Christmas movie, and I mean it is, because there's Christmas parts to it, very obviously,
Right,
you know. So I'd say it was, but obviously the main focus of this movie is don't feed the Mogwai after midnight, and then don't let the Gremlins hit water. So for all those people listening at home, those are the two main rules. If you get a Mogwai for Christmas, just, you know, watch the movie. It's a cautionary tale of what can happen if you do that. So, but and the effects more seriously though, the effects in this movie are really good. Like the practical effects of the Gremlins, I thought just were really, really good in this movie.
Yeah.
So
It's been a really long time since I've watched it.
you know, it's actually been a while since I've seen it too, but I just couldn't leave it off once I thought of it. I was like, you know, I love it. I do.
I'm drawing a blank because I can't. I'm trying to like pull it up really quick. Port. Okay, so I feel like the same rules apply. Like, don't let the gremlins touch the water. Don't feed them after midnight. I feel like the same rules should apply for every parent that's buying their kid a Star Wars Last Jedi Porg plush toy this year. I can't stand those things. I don't like the way they look. But
Fucking porgs. Have you seen the new Star Wars? Really quickly, that's all I'm gonna ask because I haven't. So.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't have like huge desires to see it.
What? I have very much desire, but I won't get my hopes up. That's all I'll say.
I read too much. I read too much on Reddit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've tried to keep myself free, and Rogue One was an absolute letdown. But anyway, Gremlins makes my top 5 Christmas movies. What's your number 3 in no particular order?
So the next one, let's see. The next one I want to talk about is Four Christmases. This is starring Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Now, I want to start off by saying this is not a good movie, and I've known that I know that every time that I watch it. But I don't know, there's something like it is funny. Like, I do think it's very funny in the way that it's, I don't know. So I don't know if you've seen it or if you know the story.
I know the story. Haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like, Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, they're in an airport, it gets shut down, they get on TV, and they have to go see all 4 of their parents. And I feel like it has like anybody that dreads going to their parents' house, like, it has every character, every possible like person in your family is captured in a character in this movie.
That's rich.
And I think that's what makes it funny. Like, if you have a perfect family, then don't watch that movie because you won't find any of it funny. But I think for I would say the majority of us, we've got some characters in our family, and this movie just kind of captures those characters.
Is Four Christmases tagged as like a rom-com, or is it like more of just a comedy?
I would call it like a little. There's some. I guess it's just a comedy, but it's like a family, I guess, like a family comedy. It has a really weak story. It ties together like a typical like kids family friendly movie, but I guess there's quite a bit of like kind of raunchy stuff in there too.
Like, it's not like, is this like a rated R film like type thing?
No. I think it's like PG-13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the worst thing that. One of the like kids, one of like his brother's kids, they're like have him pinned. They're like wrestling pros or whatever, and they have him like pinned on the ground, and he's like yelling in his face, "Google me, bitch," as he like hits him. And I don't know. That's like the worst thing I can think of.
Okay.
Oh, and yeah, I won't get too far into it, but it's not that bad.
All right, Four Christmases. I mean, Vince Vaughn, he's cool, and Reese, she's cute.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have one more, or you have 2 more? Sorry.
Yes. So the other one, which is a combined 2, but it's same premise. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which is an absolute classic, obviously. And so I'm talking about, as far as my favorite, I'm basically talking about both the 60s animated one or whatever, and then like the obviously more recent one with Jim Carrey, live action. And apparently the girl that plays little Cindy Lou Who is now like a punk emo rock star or something. So,
really?
So yeah, she's in Gossip Girl and this whole thing. But anyway, yeah, this is a classic. This is based off the Dr. Seuss book, obviously, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Tells the story of this giant green monster getting a heart enlarged basically, because of the kindness of the villagers. But it's actually just a really sweet story because it really hits on. I mean, honestly, as I was like watching it, because I do watch this, I would at the very least every other Christmas, if not every Christmas. I really do like the Jim Carrey version because I think he knocks out of the fucking park as the Grinch. But it really, really does fucking shit on like consumerism, like in the movie. I guess that's
the live action one.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess that's kind of the idea, like I don't know how much Dr. Seuss was talking about consumerism in the original book, or if that's like maybe that's all he was talking about, but just like because like the presents. I mean, okay, so at the end of the story, obviously the presents are not what like matters to the Who's because they all find each other's like spirit and stuff. But the live action one, really, like there's a lot of parts where people are like running over each other to get gifts and stuff, and like all that matters is like what gift they're getting and stuff. And eventually you get like the good message of it's not what matters and stuff, and you get that kind of through like obviously the Grinch stealing, and that's how his heart becomes enlarged because he's like, oh, they care about each other and not the presents. But before that, man, like I was like, damn, they're really hitting the nail on the head as far as like America and what Christmas has become now. Like, even though this movie's somewhat old, early 2000s, but it's kind of what Christmas has been for a while. It seems more about the presents than other things. So I was like, damn, this is pretty relevant and good. And then, but like I said, beyond that, Jim Carrey is the main reason that I watch it because he's so good as the Grinch. Otherwise there's not much to. Like he's just like in 90% of the film, I would say. So you kind of have to like him if you're gonna like it. And then just the animated is same story, but just done really well on. I specifically like when he slinks on the walls, like like a fucking snake.
Oh yeah.
in the animated version. But yep. So that's my number 4, I guess I'd say.
Do you feel? I feel like doing the live action Grinch was a really risky move.
Yes.
That like turned out really, really great.
I completely
agree. I agree. I love that movie.
And then, just as you say that, the Mike Myers adaptation of The Cat in the Hat, literally, Mrs. Seuss or whatever has said after that movie, if you ever adapt it to live action again, like I'll sue you because that was such a bad movie. So just as you said, like they were taking a gigantic risk doing live action, but it paid off so well. And again, there's also I guess a 2018 animated one coming out with Benedict Cumberbatch as the voice of the Grinch. So,
oh wow!
So yep, I saw that. So
yeah.
So what? Yeah.
Sorry, I was like kind of like boggles my goggles how weird of a fucking movie The Cat in the Hat is.
It really is.
It just threw off my train of thought. Like the movie is so weird.
I'm sorry.
But anyways, I don't want to go down that road.
We won't go down that.
Go on forever. But yeah, it's okay. So the other one I have is It's a Wonderful Life, which I know you said you didn't have on your list. It's a classic. It's one that I gotta watch every year. I think like very similar to what you're describing when you talk about the Grinch, the animated Grinch, and the story. It's very wholesome. It's very heartwarming, and it's very. It's like a little reality check, I guess. It's easy to get caught up in so many other things during the holidays, and so these movies are like just very cool and sweet reminders.
Aww.
Of yeah.
What year is that?
Oh God, hold on. It's a.
Got the research team on it.
Yep. What do you got? 1946.
Ooh, all right. So I think that's the animated Grinch by 20 years. That is old, man. That's an old movie.
Yeah, it really is. You know what though? So I have the Blu-ray, and
Ooh.
It's actually like, it's. I wouldn't have guessed 1946.
Yeah.
Like it. I mean, I know they have to like do work to kind of like remaster this or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks great, honestly.
Really?
Yep. I think the aspect ratio is off, which is kind of annoying, but. If you're watching a movie that's that old, I think you just have to like expect
right.
that it's not going to be a widescreen, like built for your 4K projector.
They weren't quite ready for that, thinking of that.
No.
In 46. So, but you're saying the message still holds up in 2017.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the movie in general, like it holds up pretty well for being. I know we've talked about before, like movies that are really heavy on dialogue and like there's not like action going on or whatever. It's not boring like in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Well, I'm glad one of us at least had it, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Would have felt bad otherwise. All right.
So one more, right?
Yeah, we got one more each, and
right.
this one is like last but certainly not least, because this is my number one favorite movie. I do watch this every year, as I'm sure most people do. We talked about it earlier. I saw it live. It's now been airing 24 hours a day for 20 straight years, believe it or not, since 1997. I'm talking about A Christmas Story. Such a good movie. Really not much to say about it, because if you haven't seen this by now, you're probably living under a rock. This is kind of one of those love it or hate it movies. Do you love it or hate it, or are you one of the few that can say you're in between?
No, I love it.
Okay, perfect.
But I will say, like, the 24 hours thing has last year I watched it in whole for the first time in a while.
Really?
Because I always catch bits and
Right.
pieces on
That's
the
usually
the
how it
24
goes.
hour that I
Right.
that
Because it is 24
just-
hours. People are busy during that time. That's usually how I get around to watching the full movie
Yeah.
is in bits and pieces. But I usually make myself sit down just so I can at least watch it whole once a year, because I really love this movie. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't get
It's
old
so
for me.
good. Yeah.
And yeah, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. So if you don't watch that, you will, literally, or I will. But it still holds up so well today. The dad's so fucking perfect. So that's my number one.
Recently got like a big urge to watch it in whole again because I don't know if you've listened to it, but there's like the Chance the Rapper Christmas mixtape that he released last year.
I don't
It's
know.
It's anyways. At the beginning of one of the songs, he samples like the spiel about the gun. I can't even. It's too many words. But he samples that, and I was listening to it, and I was like, "Oh damn, I need to watch that."
That's really
It's-
funny. Yeah, I didn't know he did that.
But anyways, the last one that I have on my list is also it's one I gotta watch every year. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
I love this movie. Chevy Chase. This is another one that has almost like, as I'm getting older, I'm appreciating it more and more, and you see things. I don't know. You see things differently, but it's just such a great movie.
It is. It's unfortunate that Chevy Chase is apparently an asshole in real life, and that
I know.
the other guy went completely nutso off the fucking diving board, the uncle or whatever in the movie in real life.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name, but no, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great movie though.
That's I don't even have a whole lot to say really. Just it's a great movie. I have to watch it every year. It's like we've said with pretty much all of these. I don't know if I call it a classic. It's one I have to watch every
Right.
year.
I mean, and yeah, it's a vacation movie. It's National Lampoon, and most of those are hit or miss, but they're more hit than miss, and that one is certainly a hit. Like the vacation movies in general are pretty good. Christmas can't beat.
But I have to admit I kind of cheated because I kind of have one more. But
All
it's
right.
like it's just a single TV episode, so that's why I can't really count it. But I have to watch it every year, and it's the very first the show The Office. It's their very first Christmas special, their Christmas party episode. It's mainly known for like the iPod scene. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
They do a Secret Santa. It's supposed to be $10, and Michael
Yankee
buys
swap.
Ryan, yeah, Michael buys Ryan a $400 iPod, and it's like it's 22 minutes of me out of breath because everything about that episode is so funny.
Is that no, that's a later one when Kevin sits on Michael's lap. But yeah, there's so many
that's a
good
later
ones.
one.
So I now am understanding The Office Christmas Party. I'm sorry that I was like I was thinking that you watched the one with
No,
Jason
that's
Bateman.
how,
but
I don't know why I wrote it like that. Though.
I get it now.
I wrote it as The Office Christmas Party, but
And then you put like a must watch every year, and I was like, well, I think it just came out, but maybe he really liked that movie, but okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't that, so I'm glad. But yeah, that's a really funny episode. I agree.